Well, howdy and welcome to the Bender Bunker. Every once in a while I'm going to drop in what's called a quick lick. Just a real hit and run lesson to keep you inspired on your bead bending journey, give you something to work on that's not too intense, not a lot of parts to it, and this is what I'm talking about this time. So if that sounds good to you, all aboard the Twang train because it's taking off. Okay, this being a quick lick lesson, we're not going to have a lot of foreplay. We're going to get right to it. So, real quick, we're going to break the first part down because it's super easy. We're going to have the top two strings on the 12th, the 7th, and the 5th. And this primary lick we're doing off of that, we've got our middle finger on the B string and our ring finger on the high E. So, when you hear me do an alternate note off that two-note pattern, it's actually the high E string going 2 frets down. So, example, when I'm up here on the 12th, it's actually me going down to the 10th on the high E. When I'm on the 7th, high E on the 5th, and etc. All right, so what is the lick? Well, basically, we'll start here at the beginning on the 12th. Again, that's starting with your middle finger on the B. We're going into the B string with the bender. Back up a little. And then we're doing the high E, back to the still bent B, alternating down to the high E 10th, still bent B, letting it down. So that's really what it should sound like. On all three of the positions. So that's a simple start. Now one of the things that's going to make it sound more bendy and more slinky is when I go down from the 12th to my 7th and then my 7th to my 5th. On the B string, I'm not really letting my finger off. I'm actually kind of sliding into it to give it more of a pedal steel sound. If you think about it, most of the time a pedal steel player's not going to take his slide off of the strings. He's going to slide into his next section. He's not going to go like that. So that's what we're trying to mimic a little bit along with the bender's help on the B string. So listen for that as I go down from the 12th to the 7th on that lick. Here it's kind of going along with it there, giving a little bit extra that pedal steel continuity. Okay, so it's the exact same lick on the 12th, 7th, and the 5th. Now the 5th has a little bit more once you get to it, and let's talk about that. So that's our lick. And here's what we do next. We bring it back to... So it's bringing the B string back all the way up, alternating it off with the high E on the 3rd, letting it back down, and then resolving on the B string on the 3rd. So here's it coming off the 7th, so you can get kind of a little bit more context. And you've got to really kind of, in my opinion, exaggerate the bender there when you go back to that second part on the 5th. So coming out of the 7th. I think the bender works really nicely there. So again, from the top of the main part. Okay, the next part, high E going into the G string on the 4th, going down the G string on the 2nd. Now when you come into the G string on the 4th, it's going to be slightly bent. It's going to sound like this. Again, starting on the high E, open. Going down to the 2nd on the G. And then we're on the 2nd on the G. We're going to hit it and roll it off to an open G. And then go D string 4 and 2. So we'll slow all together on this part. Okay. Now the next thing we do, low E string open to the low E 2nd fret into the open A. So. Now once we do that, I'm actually going to go and deaden the bottom strings and go back on the A string and the E string bottom strings dead. So it's going to sound. That kind of gives it a little bit more of that percussive chicken picking sound for country. It's a real quick kind of transition there when you go from the open A to those A and the E string dead. Okay, so here's everything we know from the top. And again, that's how we're ending it. We're on the, and then it goes A string 2nd fret, open. Give it that little bend. And now the grand finale. Something I don't think we've done much of on these lessons. We're going. So what I'm doing is I'm going back to the top 2 strings on the 12th, and we're hitting harmonic. Okay, so obviously we're going to start with the E string, and then we're going to go to the B string, but we're going to have the bender already in place. Let it down, back up. Practice that for a second. Again, the B string's already bent before you harmonic it. Is that a verb? I just harmonicked it. Okay. Little note, before you get up to the high E harmonics I just showed you, be a little bit careful letting that A string ring too much because it can overpower it. That's about right. All right, so let's try it off in the top. Well, there you go, quick lick in A. Give you something to think about, keep you bending, keep your mind active. Hope you enjoyed it, and you know, if you do, go ahead and enjoy the ride. Hit subscribe. You know, it's the motto I put on everything. And as always, it's never too late to go on a bender. See you next time.